Okay, we are going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. It is Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Ms. Dawn, minutes and reports received and filed.
Yes, we have the recorder's September 2023 fees and the county clerk's September 2023 fees.
Okay. Commissioner Committee liaison reports, upcoming meetings and events.
Alrighty. We got a meeting this afternoon on the Militia Drive extension, talking to some of the property owners about that. There's a Habitat for Humanity event tonight, Homes, Hearts, and Hammers dinner at Capitol Bluff Center. Cole County Hazard Mitigation Plan annual review at Monticello tomorrow. That's your thing, Nick? Cole County Communities for Thursday morning. Cole County Extension meeting Thursday evening. Eastside Business Association Friday morning. Lincoln Homecoming, they've got an event at the Courtyard Hotel Friday evening. And then they also got their parade Saturday. St. Stanislaus Fall Festival is Sunday. And Columbus Day on Monday.
No, it's not Columbus Day anymore. I'm sorry.
That's how it is on my calendar, sorry.
Okay.
This afternoon, Debbie and I are meeting with Travelers regarding our insurance renewal for calendar 24. I did have a boat ride with U.S. Army Corps of Engineers for tomorrow, but they're afraid of the lightning and have just canceled. Thursday, West Side Business Association, and Monday is some kind of a holiday.
Yeah, I've got communities tomorrow. That's going to be on the multimodal. Then Foster Care Adoption Association is dedicating their playground Thursday afternoon, and I gave them some money, so I'm going for that. Friday, Logan Gratz has the Chamber Government Relations Committee meeting at 11 a.m., which I'm going to try to go to. I'll be at the kickoff at the Courtyard, the parade. SIFE, which is Students in Free Enterprise, is having their reunion Saturday. And on Sunday, I've got down to Smelly's birthday too. So anyway, that's all I've got. Okay, any commission comments? Then we are going to go right into proclamations. And this is National 4-H Week, October 1st through the 7th. And we have a proclamation from Cole County. If somebody would, if you don't want to come up.
Looks like we got several of them up there.
Yeah.
All right.
And they like me to read this all the way through, right, John?
I'll skip it to them.
Oh.
Well, still.
This is public school.
Okay. Whereas the Cole County Commissioners are proud to honor the 4-H Youth Developmental Program of the Cole County Extension Service for providing experience-based education to youngsters throughout Cole County, Missouri. 4-H is America's largest youth development organization, supporting nearly 6 million youth across the country thus far. And then we got a bunch of whereases. So therefore, the Cole County Commission do hereby proclaim October 1st through the 7th, 2023 as National 4-H Week throughout Cole County. And encourage all of our citizens to recognize 4-H for the significant impact that they have made and continue to make by empowering youth with the skills they need to lead for a lifetime. So, who would like to receive this?
you gotta give a speech.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing, I'm just teasing.
Don't try this one this time, she will.
Oh, I just got done with that with the fair. Thank you, guys.
Yes. We like your country ham and bacon too. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
We will move on. Bids and contracts. Approval and signing of revised crisis track contract.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Two copies here that has the contract below the quote. There's 3 pages of quotes in the contract. This is for Crisis Track, the system we spoke about last meeting. I believe that was last meeting. And
A couple ago, I think.
so I'm just asking for approval of the contract and for it to be signed so we can start services.
No, this is where we just had something that we missed out on the last contract, right, or something, because this is revised
Yeah,
contract.
it's a revised.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some
So,
revisions made just to get it in standard with what Joel's recommendations were.
So there was a little more money
Thank you
to
very
it as
much.
well, right? Thank you all.
Yeah, with the added services, the quote I had provided did not have the same services I
Right.
was talking about at the last meeting.
So
So
it's-
I had those added to the new quote and then put into the contract.
Okay. Because this will affect the city as well, because they're paying half of it, half of the half.
I'm going to bill them.
Okay,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Jeff will make sure it gets,
Hey, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, trust me, just like the compost deal.
No, I'm fine with that. I was just trying to,
All right. I'll make a motion to sign the UR, how do you-
Javare.
Javare contract, quote number Q-10123.
second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
And then I think, this is why the judge is here. Approval and signing of agreement for the Pringer Family Center grant-funded supervised access and exchange program.
That's a heck of an acronym there. APFCGFSAEP.
I have an independent contract agreement with Nehemiah Pullins for our grant-funded supervised access and exchange program. The independent contractor is the supervision component. All expenses are grant reimbursed. It runs from now through June 30th of 2024. Pays $22 an hour, not to exceed $5,000.
Yep.
I have a motion to sign the independent contractor agreement with Nehemiah Pullins. And it's for the supervised visits and exchange grant program.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And, so the professional services for Architects Alliance is,
That's farther down.
I was farther down, but I was trying to,
I'm good on time.
you're gonna, okay, then we'll, okay. Approval and signing of lien release for Brian McCarty.
Well, thank you all for getting me in before the judge. Appreciate that. But we had one lien release, neighborhood improvement was released last year in June. And we had one taxpayer that was late on his taxes, so he's paid up now, so we just need to get the lien release signed. This is Ketterman Lane.
Oh, we're done with that one, huh?
Yeah,
All right.
last year.
I'll offer a motion to sign the, excuse me, neighborhood improvement lien release for 7112 Ketterman Lane.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, guys.
Okay. Signing of contract with Central Bank for the collector's office. I did receive an email from Larry. He's off at the collector's conference, but he is good with this. So
Just the signing of the contract that was awarded September 5th.
Okay,
So just signing of it.
good. Make a motion, sign the contract with Central Bank for the Collectors Banking Services, bid number 2023-18.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, do we have any unfinished business? Okay, new business, Debbie's not here.
Yeah, no,
Accounts-
yes, we talked before
Okay,
she
accounts payable.
stepped out. So I'll make a motion to sign, to approve accounts payable pending review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we're down to professional services proposal from Architects Alliance. Are they
En
coming?
route.
I'm sorry?
They're en route.
Okay, then we will move on. Assessor's Office Appraiser Engagement Letters. Jill is representing Chris Estes.
Yes,
He
Chris-
is off at his conferences too.
Yeah, he asked me if I would please present this. These are two agreements for an outside appraiser for commercial properties. His regular one he engages had a conflict of interest. So there's one agreement for the Hotel Courtyard by Marriott and the other Hotel Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to sign the two engagement letters with Keller Craig and Associates, one for Hotel Courtyard by Marriott, and the other one for Hotel Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Approval and signing of change order number 1-2023 asphalt overlay program.
Nice timing, Matthew.
Yeah, well, that's why.
Walks in the door and gets right in.
He's a busy man. I want him.
So this is change order for the final closeout documents for the 2023 asphalt overlay program. Primary reason for additional costs for this project were a difference between the tabulated and actual quantities due to irregularities in the surface and width of the roads. And the primary reason for less work needed is the lesser amount of modified coal milling. Overall, this change order is an increase in construction by $26,915.40. And one thing to note on this, part of this project was in the city of Jefferson, and they will be reimbursing the county for their portion of the work.
By God, City of Jefferson, Jeff, you're a wonderful person.
Glad
I'm
you're
glad
here,
you're here
Councilman
today. Can we get the check this week still?
The check is in the mail.
You want me to shake him down for you, Louise?
I know where he parked. We'll take care of this.
I park free now.
Oh, man.
26,000 sounds like a lot of money, but it's about a 4% over than the 625,000 that was projected, right?
You know,
So-
and even with that, if you look at some of the quantities, it was only about 300 ton on the asphalt total, so.
Okay.
This was for everything. As far as the city's portion, it was Rock Ridge
Oh, right.
from Route C
Yep,
to
yep.
city limit sign, so.
Okay. I'll offer a motion to approve and sign the change order number 1 on the 2023 asphalt overlay program.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Judy, discussion of 2023-22 book preservation at the Recorder's Office.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, so we bid out the book preservation process for the recorder's office. Judy received a grant for this. The bid opening was on September 21st. We had one vendor who submitted a response, which was Micro Imaging Solutions, and they didn't follow all the specific guidelines of the project. With this project, Judy asked to get 28 books digitalized, reassembled and rebound. Microfilm only gave us a quote for scanning with a book scanner, which wasn't what Judy requested. So we are asking that we reject this bid, and then, so we can use the grant, rebid it.
Yep. Makes sense. So you just need us to reject this bid, and
Yep.
did we already award it to them?
No,
Okay, good, no.
Okay, I'll make a motion to reject the bids for the 2023-23 book preservation.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. But we will just kind of, do we have anything else to discuss while we're waiting for Architects Alliance?
My closed session would only take a few minutes if you want to do that real quick and then come back into session. I don't know if that's something you want to do. That's strictly up to you. I'm here for the count, so whatever you think.
Well, we've got so many guests and so many people here. I don't know where we would put them.
I understand. Just a thought.
So,
You got room in the jail for
Right now, yeah, actually. There's a couple of them. I wouldn't mind getting that in my jail. Yeah.
Alex would like to get a few pictures.
Put them on the Christmas cards.
So did they send us a proposal, Architects Alliance, or was that the, I just saw the last bid or estimated project cost on that. That's what we're talking about, right?
yes.
We're talking about their project
Yes.
proposal for doing the work.
The initial proposal was dated August 25th, and then they sent us a new, also estimated project cost page. Do you have
So
those?
we had something agreed with to do the work for preliminary drawings for different properties we were looking at, and then, so this would be, now we have the property purchased.
So there was one in December.
Ah,
and
nice timing.
Yeah.
There it is. You get to sit right at the big boys table.
Great.
Hi, Chris.
Relax.
Yeah, yeah. All
All right, how are you?
Good.
Okay, we
Buzz all
are,
through things, so we're ready for it.
yeah. We have professional services proposal from Architects Alliance for the Pringer Family Center. Ta-da.
Okay. Are we presenting our proposal? Is that what we're here to do today?
I
Yes.
don't know, I didn't put it on the agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
This, yes.
What's the date of the last email?
August 25th, the letter where they sent the proposal, and then September 21st is the cost estimate.
Okay, I can run through our proposal briefly. I'm Abigail Steck with the Architects Alliance. So we prepared this based on the initial study that we performed last year. I think, when did we?
December.
We wrapped that up in December of 2022, which is basically a feasibility study to explore whether we wanted to renovate the existing facility or build a new facility. And I think through the course of that study, it made sense to build a new facility. So we took that initial square footage and preliminary layout and reached out to consulting engineers to prepare a professional service proposal, which includes architectural, civil, structural, mechanical, electrical and security, electronics, plumbing, fire protection, and food service. We also are working with a specialty consultant, another architect who specializes in secure facilities like this. This would be for kind of completing the schematic design, some of which we have a baseline for as far as the program goes, but it would be refining the floor plan and program for that, and then moving through design development, construction documents, competitive building, and support during the construction phase. Would you guys like me to go into more detail on any of those items?
Our total, just to summarize, our total for design services was $860,000. And then we do identify some, a direct-to-owner cost for a site survey of $10,310, an estimate for a geotechnical investigation at $15,000 for the site. And again, that would be direct to owner, but it's not in our contract. And then we also identified an amount of 15,000 for a kitchen equipment consultant. Kind of as we go through schematic design, it'll become apparent just how detailed we need to get and how big the kitchen needs to be, basically. So we've identified a cost of 15,000 additional to the 864 kitchen consultant.
And this is based off of a construction cost estimate of approximately 11 million.
Okay.
Yeah, we started out at 6.5 million, so we're gonna have to pump the brakes somewhere. That's just not jiving. I know we had some other kind of preliminary costs that y'all sent us around 9 million at one point, and, I mean, here we are at 12 million. So we're gonna have to scale something back or make some kind of changes.
And we, when we brought in our expert in juvenile facilities, we learned a lot right off the bat, just talking to them. And he threw out much bigger numbers than these, on what his average is, what their firm's average is over the country. And we did some investigating before we gave you that number. We didn't just arbitrarily ramp that up. We worked with Old Dixie Construction to just do an exercise in what square foot cost per area of building. So we've honed this in as best that we can, but we also don't want to give you a low number.
I don't think it's any surprise that I'm up
Yeah.
here telling you this, Chris.
No.
I've been this way when we were talking about,
Yeah.
when looking at other properties. I said that this cost was more than I was willing to throw at it, so, and that was when we were at 8 or 9 million.
Just
Because
wanted to
I
get
think,
some explanation of the difference.
I think our budget needs to be closer to the 6.5 million.
Well, I'm not sure. 6.5 is because that's the ARPA money we laid back. I don't know if, you perhaps thought it was going to be 6.5 and paid for completely by ARPA. I never had that premonition.
No.
But I am mildly shocked as time goes by. For instance, the last time we met, I think the kitchen square footage was like $500 or $600 a foot is what it costs for a secured kitchen. It's an unbelievably costly project. You're helping us to arrange for a couple trips, maybe to Joplin and to just across the line in Kansas City, where these folks have been and put together a couple facilities, right?
Yes, we have a couple identified, but as we kick off the schematic design, we have an initial meeting to discuss exactly the best facilities to go to, yes.
There are a few things I guess we could think about carving off. There's a exercise wing, not a wing exactly, but
The activity.
activities
Yeah.
that could be peeled off here. We have found the land. We're very close to, the survey's been completed, and I think it's sitting at the city right now for a city staff blessing of some kind when you cut a parcel into two parcels, so we're waiting on that. And that purchase is going to come in below what we had sketched out for that, but not enough to make up for this, for sure. But in any case, whether we need plans to be started and get the 860.
But I think we need a budget before we, and work backwards from the budget, because I think we're kind of tying their hands, because they don't have a clue what we're working with here. They're drawing it up the way we said, hey, this is what we'd like. I think we've obviously found out we're not gonna be able to afford what we like. Not in the 12 million. So it's either gotta be scaled back, or we keep the facility over there. Maybe we could do something different on the new facility and put our detention or residential over there. Something's gotta be done different. And as far as the budget, the 6.5 was pushing the amount that we should have budgeted for it anyway, and that was just the ARPA money. So, and I've been pretty vocal about that. That was more than I wanted to spend on it. So I think we need to find something different. And I don't know where you can pull that much away from the project to get it down to half of where it's at right now.
Well, we have some capital improvements that we haven't used in really in 3 years because of COVID.
We've not
And,
used some of it in 15 years because we've been diligent with trying to save up money. We can go through that tomorrow with just what we have
Oh,
at the
yeah, I know.
courthouse. The old jail can come down. We got Adam Street, we can do something over there. So, I mean, we can go through the money real fast, real easy.
Well, how do we know what to slice off and trim until we have the experts price out the, this version and something to trim from? And, in other words, this has got a bit of, I don't know, is it shelf space for the build out for later, or is it just available? When we talk about the detention side, is there?
That's finished.
But that's finished, but then it's built to expand,
Yeah,
right?
There's future expansion plans.
Yeah, so is there cost there that can be trimmed out? No.
That's not included.
That's
Okay.
just important during design.
All right. Okay.
And so we always say like the quickest way to cut cost is to cut square footage, but, and we can look at the most expensive areas, cost per square foot. Like we actually think we do have a little more square footage allotted in the kitchen than we may need. But it's not gonna cut the budget in half, and I don't think you guys have room. We can plan for future expansion and shelf space, but I don't think you guys have that much program that you can cut out to get the budget down that far.
So you have 8 cells. Do we need 8 cells? You don't need 8 cells. We can do it with 4 cells. If we have more than 4, we can ship them out somewhere and detain them somewhere else for $6.5 million. We can house them somewhere else for quite a while. So, same places we would do it today if we don't have anything. So, it's, the state should have something to do with this too. I mean, John, you're shaking your head at it, but this is not just on us. If we're gonna have to house the state, detain these state kids there. And the residential is a totally different thing. Right now I'm on the cell part, so.
The state, there was a thread that went through with juvenile officers last week. There aren't beds available. The juvenile officers are calling for expansion of facilities. There are 2 facilities that they're looking to expand, but they can't staff the existing facilities. The general consensus is there's not enough detention beds, and kids are being released back into the communities.
I know, but what's the state saying to that? I mean, the state should be having something to say about this.
So the state is proposing for 2 facilities in the fiscal year '25 budget to be expanded. But the 2 facilities they're looking to expand doesn't have staff to open the beds.
So, I mean, obviously, if it's our people, we want to be able to try, some of them we try to take care of, detain them, and then get them back out and release, do some kind of treatment with them and stuff.
So we're utilizing the space that we have available. We are currently housing one in Camdenton. He's been there since Friday because our facility is full. And the juvenile officers partner well with each other, but DYS is 1 in, 1 out right now, so those youth are going to begin backing up into the existing detention facilities where there are beds. And I know that St. Louis City is staffing now weekly or pretty close to as to the status of kids that are backing up in their facility, so it's going to continue to bog down.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about it. And, I mean, the struggle is real, Toby. I understand where you're coming from, but also we have to take care of it on the money side. And we can't just drop $12 million on it, so.
I do also, we're going to need to do something. We've had 3 staff in the last 5 months with head injuries because our facility is not adequate to keep our staff protected, 1 as recently as last week.
And this cost doesn't even include staffing.
That does not include staffing.
More
but
electric, maintenance. I mean, it's more than just this first time money to build it. So it's a big chunk. I understand that you're needing some more space, but I think we need to figure something else out on this. And that's not just on you. I mean, we need to sit down and try to figure it out too. I don't have your answer right now. Like I said, we've still got that facility over there. If we got to do something to a smaller scale on the new property And, you know, just like eating an elephant, you know, take it one bite at a time. So,
The current property is 30 years old. It's not adequate.
30 years old, you're just getting into your
See, what
prime.
I'm thinking is the News Tribune that's a good place for you to move to. And then we'll get money from the city since we keep talking about the city giving money and we're good. But, you know, and perhaps we can leave some unfinished. You know, when the courthouse burned, when it was struck by lightning and burned in 1911, the walls and tower were still standing. The county had $43,000 to rebuild that, which didn't come close. But they finished off the first 2 floors and left the upper floors empty until they had the money to do it. And so, you know, we might have to do something like that. That's what I'm thinking, you know, if we take the jail down to build additional court space, is that we you know, put in the elevators and the bathrooms and maybe not finish the whole thing off at one time, but just have to do it in stages. So, but we've times have changed a lot in 30 years since that was built, and
I don't see us getting anywhere closer to a solution until we engaged professional services to firm up, to draw the thing up, to firm it up, to come up with a price tag, and then we start gnawing off on the corners to see if somehow
I'd
we
say
can make
already
this
have
happen.
a Price tag we can start gnawing off on. And if we get a budget that we want to try to work down to, I'm fine with engaging them to do it. But otherwise, I think it's just going to be a futile exercise, and Chris isn't going to like me because I'm going to keep telling him that it costs too much. And I don't think he wants to take a pay
Well-
cut either, so.
Well, we're looking at this as lean as we can, but we also don't want to.
I'd rather you err on the side of caution and it costs less at the end than it costs more.
Right.
Because, I mean, this doesn't even include change orders. And, you know, look how many of them we usually have on, especially government projects. So, I mean, do you have any idea of what you're wanting to get it down to? Because like I said, I was at the 6.5 million price tag that we started with, just with the ARPA money. And, you know, was trying to choke down and getting to 8 million.
Well, all I'm going to offer an amendment or a motion here, and let's see what, if you shoot it or salute it, we'll see. I'm going to offer a motion to engage Architects Alliance for professional services proposal for the proposed juvenile facility.
and I will second that motion.
Are you gonna have any kind of a budget for them to work with to try to get down to, or you're just gonna tell them to start gnawing it and kind of go blindly? I just,
Fair question. So when you're coming up with the 860 number, that's, how much does the professional services vary with the cost of the facility? In other words, we changed the roof to the cheaper roof, or we changed the entrance to a cheaper entrance and so on. Does the 860 drop accordingly or not?
It doesn't
Right.
affect our hours or time involved, and
Right.
we do, we estimate our hours to draw everything up, and work with all of our consultants. We kind of use a guideline around a typical facility like this. Our specialty consultant has advised us is typically over 8%. We're a little under that, depending exactly where the cost comes in, but we typically try to be in the 6 to 8% range of the construction cost.
It is possible if we get through schematic design and identify something that can be lopped off or white boxed, then perhaps, if we haven't spent that time with design, perhaps that could be arranged and credited.
If it's a significant
Yes.
portion, but as far as looking at like different materials that might come in like a different roofing system, like you said, like if that costs less, it's still kind of the same amount of time for us to do the drawings regardless of what it is.
Say if we hold off on, you know, outfitting the gym, and just leave it, will that save us some money?
Don't paint stripes on the floor.
Well, you know, we don't have a gym now. We have large muscle exercise, I guess, by going outside and risking what happens when that happens.
Correct.
However, if we had to, we could postpone a portion of this facility and do the large muscle exercise the way we do it today, only with a better fence or whatever. We're going to have more room here than we have now. We're so constrained where we are now.
So, I don't know if this has anything to do with the motion, but I guess in the long run it will. Are they needing facilities for detention and residential, or is it mostly the detention only? I mean, you're talking about across the state, they're wanting to build stuff to be able to take our overflow and everybody else's.
They're looking at detention space only across the state.
Okay, so detention space, so if we said, you know, we'll keep the existing place for residential, maybe build a bigger detention, and like we do with the jail now, we actually get federal prisoners, and it's pretty full all the time, and we're actually making money on those prisoners. So if we're gonna do that and have to have another set of personnel over there, and it would help maybe fulfill the need from the state, can we get them to partner up and do something possibly? And I know you're probably gonna look at me like I'm crazy saying partner with the state, because that's always interesting in itself, but this could help solve some problems for them too, if they have a place to house detain, rather.
The state is currently looking at supporting Camdenton and Boone County. I don't know that they would look at.
We're better than them. We're by the Capitol, so we should be able to pull some strings. It's just an idea. I don't have the answer for it, Toby. I know you're struggling over there and you are in a tight spot, and, you know, it's only 30 years old. I don't know, Sam talks like it's antiquated, but
Well,
it's 30 years old.
30 years ago, the young people that were there were a completely different type of child.
That was just something I was throwing out there, if we
It's-
wanted to do
it's-
detention over there and possibly have some more funding with the state to help with it, if it was a partnership. If they're working with Camden and Boone, why couldn't we try to propose something to do that here?
We're gonna talk to our legislators. I've talked to Dave Griffith already. We did a conference call with Blaine Lukemeier's office too. I don't know if there's, you know, any money out there, whether it be federal or state, that we could access, but
I'm just trying to come up with ideas,
Yeah.
because I don't like telling Toby no. She always comes to us. She's very open about where she's going with stuff and answers all our questions. So it's tough to tell you no, but sometimes we gotta be the mean parent, I guess. I think we gotta scale it back quite a bit from where this is at. So y'all got a motion. If y'all are wanting to go with it, I just think we need to look at a lot of different ideas, and, you know, right now, it's just-
well, we can progress and still look at other ideas, but yeah, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
nay.
Okay.
I think we need a price tag first to work with. That's just where I'm at with it, so. All righty. Thank you, Toby.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris,
Abigail.
tell Larry Brandhorst, he's got a,
Sharpen his pencil?
yeah.
I don't know if it's your all's pencil that needs to be sharpened as much. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
You signed it, you sign it.
Well, we have breezed through this. Do we have anything else?
Nope.
Yes, Eric.
Anyway,
Public
almost got
Works.
away. We almost got away.
Matt suggested we give an update on the rail spur project, and real quick, it is heavily in construction. They started laying track, they actually have rail down, I know they were putting ties down last week.
They've been putting ties down, they've been setting rail. I don't know if they've drove any spikes yet. They did just get a turnout
finished yesterday, so UP will be able to make their deliveries, and they plan on doing 2 more turnouts the rest of this week for open next week, so.
Working around UP, serving the current customers there, and getting everything changed out. So it's a fast-moving project. Had a meeting with Capital regarding the oil facility they're building, and they started to do the heavy grading to get the site prepared and start construction on that into next year. So things are moving along very well. Have a meeting later this morning regarding the marketing side of the cart. So that's moving as well. So things are happening, and
Good.
try to keep you all informed as things change or as updates are.
Do you have a proposed date for, how would you pound in the Golden Spike, which will commemorate the completion?
We're gonna have a big ribbon cutting, I guess you could say. No, I don't know if we'll do that. Maybe, there's been talk about it, but sometime in December, we think. It really just depends on how quick the track construction progresses. And the end of it, it'll basically end in the transload facility. That's where
Right.
they'll finish things, unless, I think they're working on the turnout and the siding. Yeah, so it'll probably end at the transload facility, so probably in December sometime.
Okay.
You're giving a presentation Thursday, right, for communities?
Chamber community.
Yeah. And my understanding is the city is also putting money into this. Seriously, seriously.
I should have never came here.
Right? Am I wrong that the city is?
There's conversations going on right now, and I
Okay.
believe it'll be an agenda item on our Public Works and Planning Committee meeting next week.
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
We have no money for a golden spike. Prices have pulled down. We have to come up with something other than that.
How about a painted iron spike?
Something that would make it, the color last for a while would be pretty awesome to have. Gold's not very hard and all that, so if you come up with something like that, that would be interesting for years to
That would
come
be
down the
kinda-
road to, hey, this is what,
Yeah.
have a firm thing that doesn't lose its luster or something. Or have the juveniles that red, the bringers come in and paint it every year. Just comment on this. I actually do think from the city standpoint on growth and all that whole site down there is gonna be
Yes.
something I don't think people in Cole County actually grasp right now are paying too much attention to, but with the work that Eric and everyone has done on there, I'm super excited about what the potentials for Jeff City this is gonna bring. It's phenomenal. Some of the other little projects that may be coming about fruition is gonna be game changers for Jeff City, so.
You look at the companies that are having to truck their, I think Scholastic is trucking theirs to St. Louis. So I mean, yeah, this is right down from Scholastic. You can put it on rail cars there. Diamond Pet Food, I would think
It's
I
been
think it's-
talked about for a long time, and now that it's come to fruition, as dirt moving, I think there's been a lot of interest in it, so your marketing plan is probably moving forward pretty
Yeah,
well,
the
so that's
goal
great.
With, we did the MOU with Capital Logistics to work that side of the operator side of it. The goal is to have everything ready to where we can start bringing cars in for actual business early next year.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I think the
That's
idea for a
quick.
port too down in that area, the same thing, use river, it's all ties in, it's gonna be phenomenal for this area, honestly. So, I commend everybody that's been doing it. I know some at the city that pay attention to stuff like that. I think it's a great things going on.
This is in your ward, isn't it?
I really,
It is.
I know I go down toward the prison. Oh, yeah, so.
Yeah, it is.
And to dovetail-
So if we need more money from the city,
Does it dovetail with making the streets paved down in Osage City?
Those are done, Jeff, as you know. What dovetails off of this project is, and we're having a meeting, I don't know if you mentioned the Militia Drive meeting later today.
Did, yep.
City, councilmen are gonna be there, and city staff, and then property owners to look at options going forward, if and when that project.
Yeah, people want to know about growth maybe starting to happen in Jeff City. That whole Militia Drive on the east side is really going to be something fantastic for the city of Jefferson and for Cole County for years to come. And it's just going to be, a great thing. I'm excited about it.
Well, I mean, you talk about housing, and there's one developer that's,
Yep.
our landowner that's kind of chomping at the bit, wanting to know where we're gonna go with it, so that
We
we
have the
can
same
make some
thing out
decisions,
when,
so.
if we connect Wildwood to Frog Hollow,
So.
that gentleman has a huge thing, he wants to get out in that area too, I mean, so, you know, the growth can start happening, we just need to start, you know, moving dirt and getting things in the ground, and it's gonna be exciting times for Jeff City over the next 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
And Cole County. I don't wanna leave that out.
Jeff City is in Colquitt.
We're not our own little entity. We're not like Washington DC in, outside of Maryland.
We wouldn't want to be like Washington DC. I'm sorry.
Thank you for letting me speak, I appreciate it.
Yes.
So just, like I said, just a little update on that project, and then again, Militia Drive kind of falls into the same area,
Yep.
potential growth area, so be happy to
Thank you.
answer any questions about any of that or anything else.
No, I'm
No,
excited.
thank you.
And you know, the county, we do railroads. That's our, you know, so we have the BH&O line, which is Bushman Helsher Auto Line. And so I am gonna get us some shirts that
I
for
have
the
a
BH&O line.
Off the record, I have a proposal. If we come up with money for Rock Ridge or whatever else you were wanting money, do you have money that you could set aside for compost?
This is not off the record, it's being recorded.
I asked for it to be off the record.
I'm gonna let
Maybe
you,
we can
I'm
make it
gonna let
trade
you
hours
and your,
and
and your colleagues,
What does it cost for a county resident to use
I don't know.
the dump site? Because, I mean, they do have to pay though, right?
I would think, Chris, well, I don't want to speak for Chris. A question I asked, you know, what are the numbers, who's in, who's out, blah, blah, blah. I think they keep track of it to some degree. I'm not really sure if those numbers are, how available those are.
Yeah, I
Because I've
wasn't
asked
sure.
about what y'all may do on construction sites. I think I've talked to you, Jeff, about what happens then when they knock down stuff, blah, 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 and do they take them and get them ground up or whatever and all that stuff, so.
Yeah.
But I know there's still talks going on about the compost, so we've got till the end of the month to hopefully come up with a plan B or something.
if not, I'm just gonna call my city councilman whenever I
Jack
get,
Deacon would love
you know,
to.
and, so you and Jack Deacon, you know, I'll put you on speed dial.
You have my number. It would be an honor to come over. One time,
A week?
one time.
Okay, do we have anything else before we?
Can we jump back to some older, perhaps unfinished business with the sheriff?
Uh-oh. Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
last week, we heard how we were gonna speed up our plans to buy some equipment, some vehicles, and
Oh, yeah.
as we left the meeting, we had 6 of them about to arrive.
They had 6 on the lot that they were gonna sell us, and then by the time I got back and he notified them, there was only 2. So we got 2 of the 6, and he thinks he's gonna be able to get us 2 more, is that right? Or,
I think I still can get it.
okay, so
All
we're
right.
still in line maybe to get 4 more, so, but we can only get our hands on 2. And truthfully, of the 6 vehicles, the Chargers are what I was really wanting to get because they don't make them after December, they're gonna retool them. And at least with these 2 Chargers, I think the majority of our stuff will fit in the next Charger, Greg. Yeah, so we should be, at least get 2 of those Chargers and we won't have to buy all new stuff for it.
I'm going through accounts payable now, and there are 2 Landmark Dodge Chargers on there.
Yes,
So that's what kind of reminded me of,
yes, sir,
but those other 4 are in the works.
in the works.
And some of those were Dakotas.
No,
Two- one-
Durangos.
Of those 6, I'm sorry, Durangos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was 3
Durango.
Durangos and 3 Chargers, right? Is what we initially, and that's what we're looking at.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
I would entertain a motion to go into closed session.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Section 610.021 of the revised statutes of Missouri. The commission will go into closed session to discuss the following: legal actions under 610.021 subsection 1.
Second.
A roll call, please.
Sam,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes. Mark, what do you think?